Well, good morning. Thank you all for joining us today in this momentous occasion. If you're holding a beverage of some sort, I challenge you to raise your glass and do a cheers just for us reaching this point right now. Thank you all for coming again. Cheers to you all. So, my name is Patrick Shea. I'm the general manager at St. Paul Regional Water Services. I'd like to give a special welcome to Council President Amy Brendmoen, uh, Board President Mara Humphrey, and Greg Fischer with Jacobs Construction. You'll hear from both these distinguished guests in a few moments. So many of you here are stakeholders that we worked diligently with over the past several years to create what is the McCarrons Project. We are honored to host all of you here to celebrate the groundbreaking and beginning of a new era at St. Paul Regional Water Services. First off, a special thank you goes out to staff, both current and present, that are both able to be here today and are out serving the public as we speak. Their ongoing contributions will ensure this project is a success. Providing reliable quality drinking water is a public trust that we at St. Paul Regional Water Services take to heart. To meet this challenge, water utility staff work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Our focus and our passion is the customers that we serve. And our hope is that without even thinking about it, the public is able to turn on their tap and expect and receive a great tasting glass of water. We understand that our customers' lives and livelihood depend on the work that we do here. We are committing to both providing public safety, public service, and public health. So as we stand here today, besides the Mississippi River itself, this is our major piece of infrastructure that helps us meet our mission. And the plant here has provided remarkable service over the past 100 years. But the challenges do continue to fall upon us. And as an organization, as a board, as a city council, and as a community, we continue to rise to those challenges. This is another step in that journey. Our children and our children's children will continue to have access to very safe, reliable drinking water because of the improvements we are about to embark on today. These treatment plant improvement projects will modernize our processes, replace and update old facilities, and add new tools to our toolbox so we're able to address any future challenges our receiving waters might throw at us. First off, this project was really identified through a master planning process that we began about 10 years ago. One of the goals as we started in this process was making sure it was the right project at the right time, and that time is today. So as we continue to make the necessary planning and construction projects to address and respond to changing needs, we will continue as an organization to keep our customers in mind. So with that, I'd like to welcome Council President Amy Brendmoen, President of the St. Paul City Council and a distinguished commissioner on the Board of Water Commissioners.
Hey folks, my name is Amy Brendmoen, and as Pat Shea said, I am the president of the St. Paul City Council. I joined the St. Paul Regional Water Board of Directors my first day as a council member 10 years ago, and at my first meeting I became the vice president of the water board, and I, to be honest, didn't know anything about the water utility at all. But over the last 10 years, I have learned so much about this amazing team, about this amazing operation, about water. And so it was an honor to be asked to come speak today about the McCarrons Treatment Plant project. It's a really big deal. I am so proud to serve on this board, and I'm so proud to be part of this team. The least of which is not that when I fill up my water bottle, it is always from a tap in St. Paul, because I know that our water is the best tasting water in all of the lands. It's been proven, right? But we don't get that amazing water without some important things. So I'm going to mention 3 things here today, but I'm also proud of being on the board of directors, and I'm proud of being part of this project. And the first one is really the staff team that we have that's working for St. Paul Regional Water Services. And I say a team because it really takes a team to make this whole operation run. I know there's a bunch of us sitting here right now, but I think in my mind about folks that are out installing, folks that are out in repairing, folks that are taking calls, folks that are dealing with customers. There's just so many parts of the operations, the science, the work. I love touring the plant where you're just like, this is like where Dumbledore like was in Harry Potter. Like there's some really cool stuff in there. But all of this stuff comes together to make the regional water services fantastic. So I'm grateful to be part of this team and grateful for the work that the St. Paul Regional Water Staff Department team does every day. When we do this project, we will be adding 175 high-paying jobs to your team. And those jobs have reverberations not only as part of your increasing your labor force, but also it benefits our economy. These folks are going to be able to provide for their families, to contribute to our local economy. So it is a big deal to add that many jobs. And in addition to that, at the direction of the Board of St. Paul Regional Water Services Directors, we will be issuing project labor agreements for all of the contract work that goes out of this project. So those are other good, strong labor paying jobs, and we're proud of that work, and we will be proud of that over the next 4 years as it comes to fruition. So thank you. I'm grateful. It's wonderful to have staff team here today to celebrate this and recognizing that there's folks all over the region that are doing this work as well. So thank you. Second reason I'm very proud to be part of this team is the leadership. Pat and Merkel and I saw Steve Schneider in the crowd. I don't know where he went. There he is. Who really set a lot of these plans in motion. We have city folks here from our finance department and emergency management, and it really takes a lot of great leadership to direct where we're going with this organization. This leadership team is very proud of the employee team that it has assembled, and it is very forward-looking. So I think that the other piece, in addition to being proud of the leadership of the team and also the board of directors, is just the vision and planning that we're doing. And the city, it'd be wonderful if we had a 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100-year plan. We don't. But they do at St. Paul Regional Water Services, and that's something that it's really nice to be part of. And so this project is part of that larger big picture thinking plan. We have a 450,000 customer base, and it's growing all the time. And in order to continue to serve that customer base going forward, we need to do these improvements. This is a $250 million project. It is the largest water infrastructure project in the state, and the largest St. Paul Regional Water Services project has ever undertaken. So this is a really big deal. So those are 3 reasons. I could probably tell you about 600 more, but those are 3 reasons why I'm proud to be here and proud to be part of this project and this team. And speaking of great leadership and visionaries, I would like to turn the microphone over to my friend and colleague and president of the board of directors, our boss, Mara Humphrey. So welcome, Mara, please.
Well, thank you, Council President Brendmoen, and thank you to everyone who's here. This is really fun. We've been working on this for a long time, so I'm glad that we are at this point and get to celebrate with you today. I've been on the Board of Water Commissioners for 8 years now, and I think once I joined, I started to realize all the foresight that has gone into making St. Paul Regional Water what it is. All the investments to supply that steady supply of drinking water, and I always feel like as commissioners, we're really standing on the shoulders of the staff and the commissioners who came before us and set up this legacy for us. That history of proactively investing in the utility, we really looked at and figured out how do we continue that, and this is a key part of that. We actually went back and we did do a study. We did a capital improvement study to really look at what needed to be done. This was about 8 years ago. It was actually, I think, my first vote on the board was for this, and really looked at the investments that we need to make to be relevant and continue to supply quality water. And the result of that was really a plan that we're following right now. And one of the biggest components, actually the biggest component, is this project. So excited to be here today to kick that off and break ground on this project. Just reflecting on the past few years, I think it comes to mind why we need to do this, why it's so critically important. I think looking at the climate crisis and supply chain shortages, it really reminds us how critical it is that we have local, dependable, safe, quality water right here for us to be able to drink. And that wouldn't happen without all the work that our St. Paul Regional Water Services employees do. And I want to give them a huge shout out. They work nights, days, holidays, weekends, through pandemics. And it's been a struggle, but every single day we are able to turn on our tap and get water because of all the work that they do daily. So just on behalf of the Board of Water Commissioners, want to thank all the St. Paul Regional Water staff who commit so much to ensure that we have quality water to drink every day. And they provide that to our 450,000 residents in our communities. So this investment in the McCarrons Treatment Plant is just one more example of how St. Paul Regional Water employees are really looking at investing in the future, our communities, and looking at ensuring that we are going to have safe, reliable drinking water into the future. And really, all the employees working on this, I really hope that you're going to leave a legacy much like the legacy that was left when this original water treatment facility was built 100 years ago. And as I was thinking about this, I come to this as a consumer of St. Paul water, and my grandparents moved here nearly 80 years ago, and now their grandchildren and great-grandchildren are drinking St. Paul Regional Water. And through all your work, I hope the legacy that we're able to leave is that our grandchildren and great-grandchildren will be able to drink high-quality, safe, clean water from this plant. So just a big thank you to my colleagues on the Board of Water Commissioners for supplying the vision, and those who came before us as well, who left us the legacy that we are entrusted with building upon. But really the shout out goes to the amazing staff at St. Paul Regional Water, both our previous staff, but also the current ones who make it happen every day and are making this a reality at this groundbreaking. Now is the time to make this investment in the McCarrons Water Treatment Plant and support in investing future generations with safe and reliable drinking water. So thank you, everyone. Glad to celebrate with you. And I'd like to introduce Greg Fischer with Jacobs Engineering.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for the invitation to be able to speak to the group today. This is truly a great day. We are here to celebrate the groundbreaking of the McCarrons Water Plant, a landmark project that is vital to supporting the growth. I think we've heard that from the previous speakers, how important this project is. Jacobs is a proud partner of St. Paul Water as a design build partner for what is going to be the largest capital undertaking in its history of St. Paul Water. That's a great milestone. It's something to be very proud of. I know I am. Upgrading the water infrastructure reaffirms St. Paul Water is a commitment to maintaining the highest standard of public health. This is a plant that's been around since the early 1900s, and it's going to be here another 100 years. Upgrading the water infrastructure reaffirms a commitment of maintaining it. It's also a pleasure to bring Jacobs' special brand of expertise to St. Paul, our design build brand, and our partners that are here today. This project continues nearly a 20-year working relationship with St. Paul and almost a decade, as we mentioned earlier, of an improvement of the master services. We've been in the cities, Twin Cities here for over 25 years, and personally I grew up in Minnesota. I live out west, but I come back here, all my family's still here, and it's proud to be part of this major milestone project here for St. Paul. The McCarrons Water Project is being delivered in a phased approach, a design build progressive approach, something that that St. Paul Water Services took an aggressive approach to, picked a good delivery partner, and it's turning out to be a wonderful thing. I'd like to thank our many great teaming partners. Some are here from PCL, Magney Construction, all who have had a huge involvement in this project since the early days of its designing and planning. At the peak in construction, project will employ over, as it was mentioned, over 175 people, and I think that's probably going to be 3 or 4 times that if you start looking at all the infrastructure that we're going to have involved in the 25 different construction subcontractors and equipment suppliers. This investment in the project will create over 3 times the amount of numbers of total job creation, and that's a big deal here, is that job creation. It was mentioned about the PLA, and it's important that we keep that economy growing in the wages. Working with St. Paul Water has been a positive relationship. One of our best clients, I think, in our design build portfolio, and as long as I can remember. It sets a new benchmark in the industry, something that we're going to be leaning on to talk about the McCarrons project for years to come. The McCarrons Water Project is going to help meet that economic development and growth in this region for decades to come. It's exciting to know that we're doing what we can with St. Paul Water to enable that progress and that growth. Determined to help St. Paul Water achieve its ambitions, we've assembled an A-team. If you haven't had a chance to meet our design team, our construction team. I encourage you to take the time to meet it. It is the best of the best in the industry, from the technical innovation to across the entire project lifestyle, to make sure operations has a clean process of operations from construction and avoid any issues around the pitfalls of construction. Continued engagement from our entire team during construction process and operations will ensure a smooth transition in operations, and that's really the bottom line. Being driven of an unwavering commitment to success, Jacobs and St. Paul Water continue its strong partnership. It's been a long relationship, and this just cements it in the cornerstone. The McCarrons Water Treatment Plant not only safeguards the precious water supplies, but it sets a new standard in the region of delivering critical infrastructure. This is going to be a benchmark, I think, for a lot of projects coming this way. Bottom line is we approach all of our design build projects with a focus on collaboration and keen, more so on safety. That's going to be a theme I think you're going to hear from our team, is sending everybody home every single day safer than they got here in the morning, and maybe a little bit more money in their pocket at the end of the day. And that's the most important part of this project. So our thanks to St. Paul Regional Water Services for the opportunity to be part of this critical project, and my personal thanks for joining us today as we celebrate this groundbreaking. Thank you, and I appreciate the time.
All right. Well, thank you, President Humphrey and President Brendmoen and Greg. Your wisdom and leadership through all this process has been greatly appreciated, and it inspires us to strive for excellence. So as we wrap up, just a few more minutes here. First off, I'd like to extend a thank you to everyone, both on Jacob's team and St. Paul Regional Water's team, that helped with local arrangements, setting all this up. I know that things don't just happen, but you make it look seamless and flawless. So please extend thank you to people that are helping you get coffee and donuts and bagels. Council President Brendmoen said it, but I would be remiss if I didn't extend a heartfelt thank you to Steve Schneider. I know he's horrified right now, but he was the past general manager and really was in charge of this organization for well over 17 years, and is I would say directly responsible for where we are today. So give him a round of applause just to horrify him. So whether you love him or hate him, he certainly deserves it. And he's not able to be here today, but our project manager, Will Menkhaus, he's dealing with COVID, which is actually a little bit ironic because this whole project has occurred really in the era of COVID. But he was unable to join us. His family is fine. He's being a dad today. So I want to extend our thanks to them. Our leadership team here at St. Paul Regional Water: Dolly Ludden, Todd Blomstrom, Raquel Vasky, Jim Bodie, Dave Wagner, 5 of the greatest water professionals I've ever worked with, and it's a real honor. So lastly, thank you all for coming today. We appreciate that you're showing interest in this project. You're showing faith and confidence in what we do, and you're helping enable us to serve our customers even better. So as I conclude, we will do some staged groundbreaking activities. Feel free to help yourself to more refreshments, and I wish you all a good and happy and safe day, and thank you for the weather too.